Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are doing something a little bit different. We're straying from the horror, the haunted and all that kind of stuff. Today we're going on something that's a little bit funnier, I'd say. I don't really know what I'm calling this one, but it's travel fails. So what's a travel fail? People go out and do things on holiday and it doesn't go to plan, I guess. You'll see in a minute. It's a bit of a weird topic to tackle, I think. The thumbnail needs to be absolutely epic for this one. Alright, let's jump in. The disappearing luggage story refers to a bizarre incident where a group of travellers on a European vacation experienced a series of luggage mishaps that seemed almost supernatural in nature. Over the course of their trip, luggage would either vanish completely or be found miles away from their expected destinations. The phenomenon became so strange that even airport authorities were baffled. The group first noticed the issue when they landed in London. 2 of the 5 suitcases went missing, despite being checked incorrectly. Days later, one of these suitcases was found in Madrid, with no explanation of how it got there. The other suitcase was eventually recovered in a small town in Scotland, hundreds of miles from any major airport. What? Hey, you've got some possessed luggage, my dude. Hey, we've gone back to possessions and ghosts again, haven't we? Like, I just can't escape it. Thinking it was a one-off occurrence, they continued their journey, only to find that the problem persisted. In Paris, the same thing happened again, this time with different luggage. After reporting it, the airport staff managed to track one of the suitcases to a remote area in the Swiss Alps. The other was found floating in a canal in Amsterdam. This can't be a real story. Bro, their luggage is all over the world. What's going on? Like, even if the airport was playing a prank on them, how do you get that many airports involved that they're just like, right, you get to a random point in the sky and then just fucking yeet it. Just lands straight on top of the Eiffel Tower. There are several theories about what caused these strange occurrences. Some suggest it could have been a sophisticated luggage theft operation gone wrong, where the thieves misplaced the bags due to poor coordination. Others believe it might have been an extreme case of airport staff errors, with bags getting misrouted in ways that defied logic. A more outlandish theory even posited that the travellers were somehow cursed, or that the incidents were the result of some kind of glitch in the tracking system used by European airports. Well, there was clearly something wrong, mate. Like, you've got 4 different luggages in 4 different parts of the world, my G. Either nature's telling you definitely need to visit them places, or you definitely don't need to visit them places. Either way, pick your poison. Honestly, mate, it's like a goose hunt. Airport authorities in multiple countries launched investigations, but no conclusive explanation was ever found. Imagine it was all them. That could have been a thing. Maybe some kid was just like bored while his parents were checking in luggage or something, and he just went up to the luggage and started changing the stickers around. I don't know. Thing is, how does it end up in like a canal or places like that? That's just weird. Don't know. That's cool though. Life could be a dream if I could take you up in paradise up above. The accidental deportation story involves a bizarre case where a tourist on vacation found themselves suddenly deported to a country they had no connection to due to a mix-up with immigration authorities. We're sending you back to, where are you from? Iran? You're going back to Afghanistan. Yay! The incident occurred when a British tourist, let's call him John, was vacationing in Spain. During his trip, John lost his passport and had to apply for a replacement at the British consulate. However, due to a clerical error, John's information was mixed up with that of another individual from a different country who was on an immigration watch list. This is what you get for having a common name, John. Should have changed it when you was of age. Frog Slayer or some shit like that. As a result, when John attempted to re-enter Spain after a day trip to Gibraltar... Who takes a day trip to Gibraltar, mate? That sounds depressing. No, I'm sure Gibraltar is lovely. I've never been to Gibraltar. I don't even know what's in Gibraltar. Feel free to enlighten me, because I ain't got a clue. I'm not going to Google it, because I do need comments. He was detained by border security. The authorities, believing he was the person from the watch list, deported him to a small country in Africa that he had never even heard of, let alone visited. Free holiday is all I'm hearing. Like, come on, mate. The worst part is a Spanish Donny and an African Donny. They look very, very different to each other. Here's what it is, John. You live and learn, mate. John found himself in a country where he didn't speak the language, had no contacts, and no idea how to resolve the situation. After a few days of confusion and panic, he managed to contact the British embassy in the country he was deported to. After verifying his identity and explaining the situation, the embassy arranged for his return to the UK. So there was this Spanish Donny just having an absolute tantrum in an African airport. So everything worked out. Okay, this next one, right? Incredible. Absolutely hilarious. The monumental blunder involving the Great Wall of China is a humorous and somewhat bizarre travel fail where a man mistakenly visited a replica of the Great Wall instead of the real thing. The incident occurred when a tourist, excited to visit one of the most iconic landmarks in the world, accidentally ended up at a replica of the Great Wall rather than the actual ancient structure. This replica, located in Nanchang, is a scaled-down version of the Great Wall, built as part of a theme park. It was in a theme park! The tourist, however, believed he was at the real Great Wall and spent his time there, taking photos and admiring the view, completely unaware of his mistake. in a theme park. That is phenomenal. In a theme park. I would love to know how he visits any other monument. Like, he'll take you to places you didn't even know existed. Dude's a wonder for hidden gems. Don't let this guy out the house anymore, man. Absolutely silly gits. Next story. In 2018, a tourist from Australia took a cab ride from New York City's John F. Kennedy International Airport to his hotel. The ride took about 40 minutes, but due to a combination of factors including a meter malfunction, an unusually long route, and possibly a mistake in the taxi's fare calculation, the final fare on the meter was an astonishing $14,000. How do you expect me to pay a $14,000 taxi cab? I'm limping home tonight, man. The visitor was shocked and confused by the enormous charge. After some negotiations and involving the police, it was determined that the cab fare was not correct. Surely the taxi man would have just gone, you know what? Yeah, that's got to be wrong, mate. I'm sorry. $14,000. Brother accidentally added 2 commas and went, oopsie, you got to pay it because that's what the screen says. And when she was happy, so was I. In 2019, a traveller in Japan stayed overnight in a capsule hotel designed for short naps, not full overnight stays. How dare you? The traveller, unfamiliar with the concept, misunderstood the purpose of the capsules, which were intended for brief rests between activities rather than for extended stays. When the traveller checked in, he was given a capsule and settled in, expecting to stay the night. Boy, was he wrong! The space was designed for short naps, so it was quite compact and lacked the amenities of a traditional hotel room. I don't know why I read it like that. It's like I had more to say. No, there's a full stop there. I'm sorry to disappoint. Sorry guys, your boy can't read. The staff, noticing that the traveller had been in the capsule for an unusually long time, approached him to clarify that the capsules were meant for brief periods of rest. They explained the hotel's concept and offered to help him find alternative accommodations or a more comfortable space within the hotel. Bless. Japan, yeah, you guys know what's up. They were like, oh my god, he's misunderstood. It's okay, we can help you with that, my friend. Get some Z's, my G. That's exactly what the Japanese sound like. Get some Z's, my G. Time of your life, so live it well. A tourist from the United States was visiting Argentina and used a local ATM to withdraw cash. Due to a misunderstanding regarding the exchange rate between the Argentine peso and their home currency, the tourists believed they were withdrawing a relatively modest amount. However, because of the high inflation rate in Argentina and the devaluation of the peso, the amount they withdrew was significantly larger than they intended. Oopsie donkey. In reality, the tourists withdrew around 100,000 Argentine pesos. However, given the large denominations of Argentine pesos, this amount appeared as a huge stack of cash. Really? Hey, you're telling me that's only $500 US? I could open a business over there. I could buy a house and a flat. I could get the large drink from McDonald's every time I go. The mistake became apparent when the tourist went to a local restaurant for dinner. Attempting to pay with the cash, the staff were astonished by the sheer volume of bills. It was then that the tourists realised the magnitude of their error. They had inadvertently withdrawn a substantial amount of money due to the currency's high nominal value. It's alright, mate. It's a silly mistake that we all do. Sometimes I want to withdraw 20 quid and my finger slips and I withdraw 20,000. Oh god, I've done it again. All the YouTube money in it. The restaurant staff helped the tourist understand the situation and they were able to correct the mistake. What do you mean correct the mistake? It's okay, mate. We'll take the money for you. It's as an overwhelming large stash. Let's be honest, what else are you going to do with it? We'll take it for you and we'll get it back to your bank. Don't you worry. The tourist then went back to the ATM to investigate further and resolve the issue with the bank. You do something like that in the UK, they're just like, well, spend it, mate. It's your fucking money. Go for it. In 2022, no, that sounds disgusting. In 2022, a couple from the United States had meticulously planned their dream destination wedding in Costa Rica. They had arranged for their guests to fly to Costa Rica, booked accommodations, and made all the necessary arrangements for their special day. However, a significant mix-up occurred. The travel agency or booking service responsible for coordinating the guests' flights mistakenly sent them to Puerto Rico instead of Costa Rica. Yet we're not going to make it to the wedding, but the sun here is absolutely stunning. Guests arrive in Puerto Rico, completely unaware of the mistake, and checked into their accommodations there. It wasn't until they tried to reach the wedding venue or contact the couple that the error was discovered. The couple was initially in Costa Rica, awaiting their guests and preparing for the wedding, when they received the shocking news that no one was arriving as planned. Upon realizing the mix-up, the couple faced a frantic situation. They had to urgently figure out how to get their guests from Puerto Rico to Costa Rica. This involves rebooking flights, arranging new accommodations, and coordinating transportation on very short notice. The logistics were complex complex and the short time frame caused considerable stress. Yeah, I know, I bet they were so stressed about the fact they had to leave their tropical beach to go to another tropical beach. The ceremony was much smaller than they had originally envisioned, with fewer guests able to make it to Costa Rica in time. Despite their best efforts, the dream wedding they had planned was not exactly as they had hoped. What a bunch of ding-dongs. That's a lot of money in the bin. In Costa Rica. Sorry, that was the last one. Maybe just get married in like an easier country to get to. You hear that, cousins? Getting married in Cyprus next year? What's going on? I mean, actually, no, it's a great idea. I'm gassed. In 2017, a traveller visiting Egypt was drawn to the bustling markets in Cairo, known for their variety of souvenirs and antiques. During their exploration, they encountered a street vendor who was selling what happened to be authentic ancient artifacts. They always say they're authentic, okay? The traveller, fascinated by the history and allure of these items, purchased what they believed to be a genuine artifact, thinking it would make a memorable and valuable souvenir. Turns out they've been cursed for 10,000 years and they have fungus growing inside them. I don't know, something like that. The vendor confidently assured the traveller of its authenticity. The traveller, eager to bring home a piece of Egypt's rich history, bought the item without thoroughly verifying its authenticity. How is he going to do it then and there? He can't just pull out this authenticity kit and then just like slam it onto the table. Right, put it on there, brother. Let's test this shit. Upon returning home and unpacking their suitcase, the traveller discovered that the artifact had broken during the flight. Oh no. It was then upon closer inspection that they realised the item was not an ancient relic but a cheaply made replica, likely manufactured in China. Cairo selling cheap fake ass fucking statues. Impossible. Traveller was left with a broken souvenir and the embarrassment of having been deceived. Guys, that's Egypt for you. Like it's like that all around Egypt, I'm not gonna lie. No one's gonna sell you a priceless artifact, man. In 2019, a tourist from abroad was visiting Japan and, I just slurred the shit out of that. Let me try again. In 2019, a tourist from abroad was visiting Japan and had planned to spend a relaxing day at a renowned hot spring, onsen. Excited about the opportunity to unwind, they prepared for a day of soothing baths and Japanese tranquility. Namaste. While navigating the city, the tourist, who had limited Japanese language skills, stopped to ask a local for directions. Unfortunately, due to a combination of language barriers and perhaps misunderstanding or mispronunciation, the tourist accidentally requested directions to a fish market rather than the hot spring. Hot spring in Japanese. Okay, it's onsen. Fish market in Japanese. Waichiba. So, Waichiba, onsen. Whoever this Donnie is, if it was mispronunciation, brother, please work on your Japanese before saying anything else ever. How do you even get that relatively mixed up? If it was really a case of mispronunciation, right, you deserve to go to that fish market for butchering that sentence so much. The local, following the request as understood, directed the tourist to a well-known fish market. The tourist, unfamiliar with the area and trusting the directions they received, ended up spending the day wandering through the bustling market. The experience at the fish market was vibrant and interesting, but it was not what the tourists had planned. Instead of soaking in a hot spring, they found themselves immersed in the sights and smells of seafood, which, while intriguing, was not the relaxing escape they had been anticipating. Fish are relaxing, been like coral barrier reefs and stuff. It looks very relaxing and colourful. What's wrong with fish on a market? They're dead, sure, but maybe it's not as relaxing as you think. But still, it's fine, okay? It's a fish market. It's fun. It wasn't until later in the day, possibly when checking their itinerary or when discussing their plans with someone else, that the tourists realised the mix-up. They discovered they had spent the day at a fish market instead of the hot spring they had been dreaming about. They discovered they had spent their day at a fish market. I think they kind of knew that they were at a fish market for the rest of the day, my friend. You don't exactly get a lovely massage from a sea bass, do you? I mean, you may, depending on what you're doing. In 2023, a traveller from South Korea was visiting Japan and decided to enjoy a meal at a local restaurant. After ordering and enjoying their meal, the traveller reached for their wallet to settle the bill. Due to a mix-up, they pulled out Korean won, believing it was Japanese yen. Brother lives in Korea and he pulled it out going, "This must be Japanese." Korean won and Japanese yen have different appearances and values, but in the moment, the traveller confused the two currencies. The restaurant staff, unfamiliar with why the payment was being made with Korean won, were initially puzzled. This seems like a long article for a 5-second interaction, where he's probably gone something like, oh, sorry. There you go, that's it. I just imagine the staff are like, first of all, this is slightly racist. They also reassured the traveller and helped them resolve the situation by allowing them to use Japanese yen or a credit card for payment. Sorry, the way they phrased that, the guy was like, oh, I only have Korean won. Don't worry about it, you can also use Japanese yen. Ah, so I can't pay with this Korean won. No, you can't. But don't worry, here's what we'll do. Pay with Japanese yen. It's just so passive aggressive. In 2018, a tourist visiting Africa was captivated by the local crafts and decided to purchase a large wooden giraffe statue as a souvenir. I like giraffes too. The statue was beautifully crafted and represented a piece of the local culture and artistry that the tourist wanted to take home as a memento. Upon returning to the airport, the tourist faced a significant problem. The giraffe statue was too large to fit into their checked luggage or carry-on. The dimensions of the statue exceeded the allowable baggage limits, and it was clear that traditional means of transportation would not suffice. Determined to bring the giraffe statue home, the tourist decided to purchase an extra seat on the plane to accommodate the oversized souvenir. This solution involved contacting the airline to arrange for the additional seat, ensuring that the statue would have a secure place during the flight. That's crazy. I'm not paying an extra seat. What I'd rather do is snap it in half, put it in the case, glue it when I get back home. Work smarter, not harder. You can take the giraffe out of the man, but you can't take the man out of the giraffe. Or please do, because that's probably illegal in most countries. In 2021, a traveller booked an Airbnb rental in Japan and was excited about their stay. Upon arriving at the property, they were initially pleased with the accommodations. However, their experience took a dramatic turn when they discovered something disturbing. While unpacking or exploring the rental, the traveller opened a closet and found jars containing preserved human organs. The discovery was shocking and unsettling, leading to immediate concern and fear. What the fuck? People in the closet, but not full people. Just little parts of people. The jars, which contain preserved human organs, were not a typical or expected part of a rental property. The traveller confronted the host about the discovery. The host claimed that the organs were intended for medical research or educational purposes and that they were stored there for that reason. Duh. Despite the host's explanation, the traveller was deeply disturbed by the find. The presence of preserved human organs in a rental property, especially without prior warning or consent, was beyond what the traveller considered acceptable. Yeah, that does sound terrifying. In response to the unsettling discovery, the traveller chose to leave the property immediately. What organs were they? It depends what the organs were. If it's a hand, sure. If it's an ear, sure. If they've got peepees in a jar, at that point, mate, even I'm questioning it. I'm like, of all the organs, why the penis? Why have you kept the penis in the jar? The traveller contacted Airbnb and reported the incident, providing details about the disturbing discovery and their experience. Airbnb took the matter seriously and likely conducted an investigation into the property and the host. The story gained media attention, highlighting issues related to safety, transparency, and the responsibilities of hosts in rental accommodations. Bro, it depends how tired I am. If I get there and I'm very tired, I open a closet and I'm like, I don't even care. If I die in my sleep, well, it's a very good sleep then. Didn't hear him coming. I wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have you. In 2018, a traveller visiting Southeast Asia went swimming in a freshwater lake, which is common for many tourists seeking to enjoy natural water bodies. Unfortunately, after the swim, the traveller began to experience severe eye pain and discomfort. Oh dear, if you're a little bit squeamish, this one might not be for you. The symptoms quickly worsened, prompting the traveller to seek medical attention. After consulting doctors, it was discovered that a parasitic infection had occurred. Specifically, the traveller had contracted an infection caused by a parasitic worm known as loa loa, also known as the African eyeworm, which can burrow into the eye. What the fuck is that? I do not want that in my eye. Thank you. My eyes are bad enough as it is. I suffer from eye strain due to this motherfucker over here. I do not want a parasitic worm in my eye as well. That's a no on my end, my friend. I'm going to have to heavily decline a parasitic worm in my eye. Got better things to do. The presence of the parasite in the eye, identified as loa loa or a similar species, required urgent medical intervention. The parasite, which is transmitted through the bite of certain types of flies, can cause significant eye pain and other complications. In this case, the traveller required emergency surgery to remove the parasite and alleviate the symptoms. Following the surgery, the traveller received treatment to ensure the infection was fully addressed and to prevent further complications. Parasitic infections could be literally anywhere. Say you're swimming in like a lake or something. You get too near to someone and they piss in your eye. Let me elaborate. They're having a wee under the water and you happen to get too close to their water and suddenly the pee is all in your eye. That's still a parasitic infection, right? Kind of. It's an infection nonetheless. I don't know why that's come out of me. I don't know. I'm sorry. In 2012, a tourist in Iceland became unexpectedly involved in a search and rescue operation. The tourist was part of a group visiting the country and had joined a search party looking for a missing woman. The missing woman was reported to be part of their own group of tourists. Okay. The missing woman, a member of the same tour group, had become separated from the rest of the group during a hike. She had changed her clothes and perhaps altered her appearance, making her difficult to recognise based on the initial description. Due to these changes, she was not immediately identifiable to the searchers. As the search party, including the tourists, scoured the area for several hours, they were actively searching for someone who looked very different from the woman's current appearance. My God. After hours of searching, the woman who had been missing was eventually found by the search party. To everyone's astonishment, it turned out that she was the very person who had been searching for her. She had simply changed her clothes and was unrecognisable from the initial description. The tourist and the rest of the search party had been looking for her without realising that she was among them all along. Imagine she's getting like proper down and dirty with it as well, just like going through muddy bushes and stuff like that. We gotta find this person, man! And then all of a sudden someone turns around and it's like, it's you. She's like, it's me! You was looking for me all along? Oh, you guys, you know I'd never leave you like that. Oh, with friends like you, I'm so blessed. In 2016, a British traveller named Michael O'Neill was staying at a hotel in Thailand. During his stay, he attempted to use the hotel's toilet. Unfortunately, due to faulty plumbing, the toilet malfunctioned catastrophically. The situation escalated when the toilet exploded, causing severe burns and injuries to O'Neill. Broke the fucking toilet. Imagine the plumber, bro. What the hell did you eat? Where can I get some? The incident was not only physically traumatic, but also emotionally distressing, as it happened in a foreign country far from home. The hotel's management was initially uncooperative and tried to downplay or cover up the incident. They were reluctant to take responsibility or provide adequate assistance to O'Neill. This led to complications in addressing the situation and ensuring the traveller received proper medical treatment and compensation. Compensation, eh? You want to receive money from us, brother? Sit the fuck down. In response to the inadequate support and the attempt to cover up the incident, O'Neill sought legal action. He pursued a legal battle against the hotel, which involved navigating the complexities of international law and the hotel's attempts to evade responsibility. Your toilet exploded all over me. I'm going to explode all over you too. Eye for an eye. Eventually, O'Neill's legal efforts were successful. He won the case and received compensation for his injuries and suffering. Brother got attacked by a toilet and got compensation. That's incredible.
I have a dream I hope will come true.
In April 2015, an entire terminal at the Los Angeles International Airport was evacuated due to a suspicious suitcase that set off security alarms. The situation was taken very seriously and emergency procedures were enacted to ensure the safety of all passengers and staff. After the terminal was evacuated and the area was secured, it was discovered that the cause of the alarm was a single overripe banana. The banana, which had been packed in the traveller's suitcase, emitted gases as it decomposed. These gases triggered the airport's explosive detection sensors, which are highly sensitive and designed to detect potential threats. The incident was handled efficiently, though it caused some disruption and confusion among travellers. Brother, it was a banana. How old was that banana? An overripe banana, right? It's fine, like it just goes black. For it to be exhuming gases like that, what the hell? I mean, I let my bananas get some bruises and whatnot on them. It's fine. Who eats like a charcoal banana? Oh my god, it's potassium. What a bunch of malarkey. Anyway, has anything batshit crazy like this ever happened to you guys? As per usual, thank you guys very much for watching. Remember to subscribe, remember to like the video, and definitely check out some of the other ones that I've got on this channel. They're probably on screen at the moment. And share it with your friends as well. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. Slowly inching our way there, alright? Take care, have a good one, and I will see you in a bit.